It is 7 o'clock, actually 7:01, and I'll call this meeting to order. Will the clerk call the roll, please?
Mayor Patricelli?
Present?
Councilman Torncello?
Present.
Councilwoman Dunn?
Present.
Okay, I'll ask everybody to please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll ask the minutes of the meeting to be read, please.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the December 2nd meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilwoman Dunn?
Favor?
Councilman Torncello?
In favor.
Mayor Patricelli?
In favor. Okay, we'll go into reports of officers and committees.
All right, so today, Artie Crucio retired. Today was his last day being in the office. His official last day will be December 31st. We brought on Carol Radigan, who will backfill that position, and she will take over as Secretary to the Commission of Civil Service, and that would be effective at their next meeting. Carol has a wealth of experience in the civil service system and human resources as well, so we'll be sure to tap into that as we go forward in what we do with the city. 603 First Avenue, the tree has been removed and the stump has been taken down. I'm not sure who took it down. I know Louise had offered the property owner to take it down for her, and we know it is gone, so we no longer have that.
What's the address again?
603 First Avenue.
Is that First Street?
Or First Street?
Yeah.
First.
First Street, I
First
apologize. First Street.
That's okay.
First Street.
Make sure the minutes reflect First Street, okay?
First Street,
Absolutely.
yes. We are monitoring 1025th Street, which is the home on the corner, the former Michael Parenti owner of that hot property. It's been vacant for a number of years. I think it was last Monday when a pipe burst in the basement. We were called down there. It was probably about 9:30. We had code enforcement, myself, police, fire, and a water department. The roof had collapsed. The floors have collapsed in there, so I put the property owners, the management system, or the management team on notice that if we don't hear anything specifically by the middle of next week, we'll take action going forward to take that down. I tried to use the fact that it is on a route to school, that we have a lot of pedestrian and vehicular there, so to me the place is a danger and needs to come down immediately. So the last conversation I had with them as of Friday was that they're seeking an engineer so they could remove it, because they know if we remove it, it would be a higher, higher.
What's the
rate.
cross street, 10th Avenue?
It's on the corner of 10th and 25th. That's the two-story right there. But you can't get into the basement. You can no longer get upstairs. The roof has collapsed. And like I said, you can see the main carrying beam has a crack in it when we were in there the other night. So we're going to move forward on that.
So it's on the north side of the street, right?
No. If you know the corner, you know where the school is, right on
Yeah.
the corner?
Yeah.
Come right across the way. It's actually on the west side of 10th
The
Avenue.
west side of 10th Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the white two-family.
Okay.
Marinucci is the second house in. The Lewis property, the catch basin had been delivered. It's now all marked out by UFPO. We actually changed the design. We were out there Monday getting ready to grind and put the swale in. They reshot the grades. The paving company, which is Louise, had some concerns as to the pitch. So we talked about it. We did a quick redesign of it. We're going to drop a catch basin right in the middle of the ponding area, come across First Street and dump it into the catch basin, put a pipe in and put a catch basin in right there. So that should actually carry, a halfway decent amount of water with it and not have any more issues with that. And then lastly, followed up with Labella. They're working through the 19 points that the court system gave them. They think there's a lot that has to be done in it to try to achieve what they're looking for. But we hope to have at least some type of a draft by early to mid-January, which then Barbie and I will take a look at that and see
Sure.
where it goes and the next steps.
That sounds great.
Yeah, yeah. I know they ask for a lot, but it's an opportunity, so see what you can get.
Well, it's kind of like the wish list,
Yeah.
I mean, if in a perfect world, if we could have all that, that's great, but we know that that's probably not going to happen, so whatever, pare it down and,
Yeah, just get the primary, maybe one judge's chambers versus two, we'll see what we can get.
yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, I think that's great, though. I'm happy to hear that.
Joe, on going back to that 1025th Street,
Yeah,
that was a pipe that broke.
yes.
I had sent an email to you and Dave asking, and Pepe, really, I think.
Yeah.
When you have a vacant property and they're paying a vacant property fee, why isn't the water turned off?
So with that one, this one came after the last time they did a blanket sweep throughout the city when they first started the zombie property. So Nick and Paul and Dave went to a number of sites. This became vacant, I guess, after that initial walkthrough. There was an assumption that it was turned off, but it was turned off at the, not at the curb, but at the box. And so they still had pressure on it, and that's what happened there. But yet the house did say that it was winterized and everything inside, which was fine, but we never just terminated it at the main.
Well, what broke inside? A pipe inside or the pipe at
Pipe inside had to break inside. We never got to the basement
So-
there, so we never got to really see it.
So at the curb box, it wasn't shut off?
That's the understanding. It wasn't shut off or terminated at the main, which probably would have been the way, I guess, they did it on all the other ones, but it wasn't terminated or shut off, I guess, properly.
I think sometimes they can't find the curb box, or
Yeah.
it's broken. I know that was an issue on the church on 23rd Street. The curb box it wouldn't turn on there.
But either way, that house was in a major decline anyway. The roof was already gone, unfortunately.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
I delivered papers there. One down, one up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long time ago. Okay. All right, thanks, Joe. Any other questions? All right, we'll go into old business.
Your Honor, there is no old business on this evening's agenda.
All right, we'll move into new business, please.
The first order of new business is resolution number 9853. This is a resolution approving the meeting schedule for the Council of the City of Watervliet as designated by Article 4 of City Charter, Section 27, Meetings of the Council.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we move on resolution 9853.
I will second it.
Okay. This is moving the time from 6 to 7.
It moves the time from 6 to 7, then identifies the monthly meetings, their dates.
From 7 to 6.
I'm sorry,
7 to 6.
Or 7 to 6.
7 to 6.
Right.
Yes.
7 to 6, right.
That's a good move. That's smart.
Yes.
Now we just got to remember to be here for 6.
I'll be an hour
Yeah,
late.
right.
I'll be an hour late.
Okay. All right. If there's no other comments or thoughts on this, we'll pull the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torncello,
In favor.
Mayor Patrascelli.
In favor.
Resolution number 9854 is a resolution authorizing Mayor Charles V. Patrascelli to execute a contract addendum with WizardWorks Design Group, LLC, for a custom-designed multi-level play structure and spray ground.
Mayor, I will make a motion that we move on resolution number 9854.
And I'll second that.
This here is a small change order to the original contract. I was working with the first contract, which showed the $377,000, and when we went to execute it with the company for WizardWorks after the mayor signed it, he realized we had the wrong one, so therefore we had to do this change order to the original contract to bring it up to the amount of $385,150. So we're increasing the contract by $7,452.
Now, Joe, that's 385. What's that include? That's including the concrete work?
No, well, it's everything that
Right.
he's got. It identifies what equipment they got and what work they're doing, but it's everything from the wet deck to the dry deck to all the equipment coming out, out of the ground.
So when's the wet deck going in?
We let that project on, the bidding on the 13th. We're supposed to get those back on the 28th. We open them up on the 28th, review them. We'll have a determination as to who that would be. We're going to award that contract on the 6th of January, and they will commence work that following Monday.
If you remember, you have the notice of it, the illegal notice?
I should, yes.
You should
Yeah.
have it. Can you send that to me?
Sure.
Okay. There's a number of, I don't know who, it went into the papers. I don't know if you, do you do any mailings of notices to any of the contractors?
No, we put that onto Dodge Construction.
Okay.
And then from that point, it goes into data flow.
Okay.
And then they start to look at all the different ones from there.
Okay, yeah.
Can they do some of that work in the winter? Is this they gotta wait till the spring? I mean, can they?
So the wet deck are the two smaller pieces that are going
Right.
to house all the equipment going up, and all the piping will be underneath the ground. It's the smallest of all the concrete pads, so they put that accelerant in it. If we can put blankets on the smaller pieces, we don't have to put the accelerant in. And then once that all dries, then come spring, we do the rest of it, and it goes to regular. So we're hopeful that we can just do it with blankets.
Huh.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, they can still pour.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, there's no other comments, so call the roll, please.
Councilwoman Diamond?
Favor?
Councilman Torrcello?
In favor.
Mayor Patricello?
In favor.
Resolution number 9855 is a resolution authorizing the city council to take the necessary adoption of the State Environmental Review Act for the combined sewer overflows project.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we move on Resolution 9855.
I will second it.
This is the seeker document that was needed in order to move us to closing with Environmental Facilities Corporation. We needed this seeker action for the combined sewer overflows, and that's what's before you today, is to adopt the unlisted action, and you can go forward.
Any questions?
Oh,
I'll call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond?
Favor?
Councilman Torrcello?
In favor.
Mayor Patricello?
In favor.
Resolution number 9856 is a resolution awarding a contract for the removal and installation of bollards at Reds Field and authorizing Mayor Charles B. Patricello to execute all required documents regarding same.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we move on resolution number 9856.
I'll second that.
Okay.
This was a small job over at Reds Field. It's the removal of 12 existing bollards and installing 12 new ones. We went out to an RFP with 4 contractors, of which we got 1 return bid on it. There were 2 components to the bid. They could either do a pour in place, or they could do an actual poured ballard and put that into concrete. Gallo Construction submitted a contract or a bid for $10,900 for the precast yellow powder ballard, or the pour in place, 12 of those, and that's for $8,940. So we are selecting the pour in place for $8,940. And that money came through I believe, a donation from National Grid that the mayor was able to achieve there too.
Where do they go, Jim? Where actually are they?
Right at the end of the basketball court.
Right, is
And
that
then,
there?
there was a picture of it right in the RFP. So right at the end of the basketball court, there are a number of ballards which just go right down that fence line.
Okay,
And they're going to go right there.
got it.
Oh, so they're not going on the side of the basketball court?
Yes, they're going
Yeah,
on
it's
the
on the side, yeah.
On the side.
In front of
But there are
the parking,
those
right by the
wooden,
court.
what are they, like wooden?
telephone poles.
Right.
They're
Are they?
coming out.
They are coming out.
That's
Okay.
coming out.
Well,
That's
that's
coming
okay.
out, right?
All right,
The 3 of them are coming out, and then we'll put down.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
ones we selected are the ones you typically see. They're the yellow precast.
Yep,
those type of things, but you can actually, the pour in place, they're a little bit cheaper, you know, of course, as you saw in the bid, but just a sonotube, they'll pour it and then they'll take it out, we'll paint them.
Speaking of ballards, on another topic, what's the issue with ballards on the bike path?
Actually, I sent the mayor a picture that I saw when we were down in.
Sorry, I shouldn't do this, but now.
Yeah, I sent a picture of the ones that I'd like to do, the ones that we saw them at the Botanical Garden over the weekend. I'll forward you guys a picture of what we have, or what we have considered for it. And, you know, we can go forward and get those installed,
Okay.
bollards.
Yeah, if you could send a picture, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the bid for this here, or the job for this, National Grid I was able to talk to National Grid, and they will donate the money for the ballards, and also money for picnic tables.
Yeah.
Great.
And I believe the amount that came to about $15,000, $14,000, $15,000.
So the balance on those, I'm gonna look at the, well, we'll do a resolution to accept the money once we do get it. And then the balance at that point, you know, will go out for picnic tables as well.
I already got the wood down at the dome.
Did you buy the wood?
Anybody want to build a picnic table?
I think it might even be an Eagle project. Already set to go, Joe. I'm not waiting.
Is this a reimbursement grant or?
I believe from what he told me, it'll be a check. And then that'll, you know, I think they're still waiting to process the documents.
Do I have to provide?
Does that raise what questions does that raise?
Huh?
What questions does that raise?
Tons in my head, but
Yeah, that's- yeah.
you don't want to be there.
Okay, I know. Right.
You just got to catch up. Don't worry. The ballards will be in before you worry about it.
Just be mindful of what year we're getting the money in and what year we're spending it in.
Yes.
Not worried about it. Okay.
The mayor thinks that we don't have to be mindful of that. You do.
Okay. I'm just worried about getting the ballards, and I'll get the picnic tables. We're going to have a number of them for the pool. We're going to need more for the pool, a few others that go in. And then it's another, number of them we put down in some of the parks. And I think we are basically at the life expectancy of a few of the picnic tables, especially a few at Hudson Shores. So, and again, to expand the Hudson Shores, there should be more throughout the park, and there's not. Most of them are under the pavilion.
Yeah.
So because now we put in the grills that are in there, and then you've got some other stuff, and people kind of like have been spreading out a lot more and moving that around. So, okay. Any other questions? Did you order the screws yet for those the bolts?
For what now? I ordered
There's picnic tables.
I ordered
There's picnic tables.
I ordered the screws for the brackets. I don't remember anything else.
All right. Nothing. All right. Want to call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Diamond?
Favor?
Councilman Torricella?
In favor.
Mayor Patricella?
In favor. Joe had more hair.
Resolution 9857 is a resolution authorizing Mayor Charles V. Patricelli to execute an agreement for professional services with the Capital District Regional Planning Commission.
Your Honor, I'll move, we move on resolution number 9857.
I will second it.
Okay.
This is an annual contract that we enter into with CDRPC, which is the Capital District Regional Planning Commission. They monitor and manage the CSOs, the outfall communities, which is Cohoes, Watervliet, Green Island, Bonanza, Albany. And this contract just validates that we enter into a contract with them to do all the managing and responsibilities to filings with them.
Okay. Any questions?
No questions.
Call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond?
Favor?
Councilman Torricella?
In favor.
Mayor Patricella?
In favor.
Rather, the last order of business on this evening's new business agenda is resolution number 9858, and it's a resolution amending the annual budget for fiscal year 2021.
Mayor, I will make a motion that we move on resolution number 9858.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Is that probably you, Amanda? Okay. You want to use the mic, Amanda?
I think that if you put the mic in front of the speaker, that's what causes the feedback, so. no.
Let's try it. Let's try it just to see. If not, we'll turn it off. It's hard to hear you.
The first item, I'm going to just hit the highlights of this. Starting with police overtime, we're increasing that $95,000. I know there have been a number of gun arrests this year and a lot of violence, so police overtime is up. Police special wages, this is...
Just to go back to that, Amanda, when you talk about the 95, the budget's going from what, 380? Was it 380?
I think it was 300.
300
Yep,
to 395?
correct.
Okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Police special wages, this is police workers' comp cases. We're increasing that $17,000 for some individuals that have been on workers' comp. There's one individual, I think, that has been on, no, never mind, I take that back. But yes, workers' comp cases. Increasing the police equipment line, $90,000. That's the purchase of the 2 new vehicles that we have, and outfitting them, striping them, putting lights on them, all that good stuff.
Wasn't that in the line item? I thought we had that in the line item before.
It wasn't in a line item. We
Yeah.
had discussed it. We discussed that we were going to purchase them,
Right.
but I never made the actual budget move to reflect it.
So this year's budget did not have line items for police vehicles?
Correct.
Okay.
Fire department overtime, we're increasing that $51,000. I'm sorry, I don't have what their original number was. I think it was 436 or something to that effect, but they also had that grant that was part of that.
Right.
Fire department holiday and comp time, I'm increasing that $20,000. There's just a higher payout this year. People didn't use as much during the year, so that resulted in higher payout this month. Increasing fire department vehicle maintenance. Engine one alone had $19,000 worth of work done to it earlier this year. We're increasing highway equipment $205,000. That's an estimate. They're looking to purchase 2 new trucks this year, assuming they're about $100,000 a piece. So that's that. We're increasing highway vehicle maintenance. There were a lot of things that added up to that $25,000 increase number. Most recently, one of the big internationals had work done because the frame got bent when it was working at the Witches Tower, to the tune of almost $10,000. In addition to that, there's a meter for the gas pumps that was needed for a few grand, cutting edges, work for the backhoe, work for the skid steer, that sort of stuff. Moving down to the permanent improvement highway equipment, that's our CHIPS funds. We're increasing that $122,000. This is for the Ford F-150 and some other miscellaneous expenses that we've been putting in that CHIPS account. You will see a corresponding revenue for the exact same amount. Next big line is economic development salary. I'm increasing that $15,000. We had a new employee come on that was not budgeted in that particular line that came on board this year. We're increasing payment to retirement costs to the state for non-police and fire folks, just change in allocation, so that's a $58,000 increase. Workers' comp costs, $8,800, again, change in allocation. And health insurance, we're increasing that $40,000. There were some new hires this year that needed insurance.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
What, was a $75,000 cost for fire department equipment? Is that something?
Yep, we're moving some grant funding. They had some leftover from the grant, so they're going to spend that on equipment.
Well, did they purchase something? I mean,
I don't recall what they wanted to purchase, truthfully.
I heard they purchased tanning beds.
well,
Well,
tanning
the
bed?
tanning beds, yes, they have tanning beds. That's why their electricity costs went up.
This is not.
Who does?
This is not real.
This is not real.
Oh,
They're
You scared me when you and I'm like, oh my.
No, Chief Garrett thought he was
I'm
being
so-
funny and
He was
decided to tell me that their electricity costs went up because they
Tanning
had
beds.
purchased tanning beds.
We have asked, been a little bit more diligent on trying to compare prices of electrical meters and electrical expenses for the buildings. And Jen has been working and sent out an email to the fire chief and said, here's your bills for, electric and gas, and, some of them are a little higher, and asked for questions. So he came in and said, we bought tanning beds.
The police department has already requested tanning beds.
yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure they're right there.
I know.
Sorry.
But no, there are no tanning beds, I'm just kidding. Moving on to the water fund. The first big line there is the admin equipment and vehicles. The $91,000 is that we do both thing, apparatus.
But that was budgeted, or it was,
It wasn't, so it's not budgeted.
Yeah.
It was discussed that we would like to purchase it, but I never made the actual adjustment to move it to either an equipment reserve or to the actual line. So it's the same thing with the police vehicles and highway vehicles. We had some extra funds, or we didn't spend as much in one location, so I just need to move it from one line to another so
Okay.
that we can spend it there.
because I thought we had that, we've been laying that money in for a harvester for a while.
Yeah,
It was $100,000, I believe.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
Next line is taxes, supplies, and consultants. This is just year-end stuff. I put an estimate in there for Paul Goldman's fees. I don't have a recent bill from him. So this number might change. It might not need to be that high. It might need to be higher. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm putting something in there because we're at about the height of that particular account.
Just to follow up on that, Mayor had asked when that trial is scheduled. It's January 5th.
Is there any chance that it'll go then?
I think it's going to go,
Okay,
from what I'm told.
that's, yeah, sooner than.
And they don't, in a certiorari trial, so there's no attorney fees charged to that, or can be?
There's no entitlement to attorney's fees, correct? Everybody pays their own attorney.
And are these just one-day things? Or are they going to lead on?
Paul's email suggests that there's 2 days set aside for trial, but there's no decision rendered at that time. And in fact, it takes a long time after that. It's a battle of appraisers for the most part.
Yep.
But they don't have an appraiser. They
They're
didn't
just
get
They
an
don't have
appraiser.
an appraiser in this case, but so they'll be using.
Cross-examining ours.
Right.
So
That's
when
about
you
it.
say a long time, a year a long time? 5 years a long
No,
time?
no, months. Oh,
Well,
right,
it could
6
be-
months, something like that?
It could be easy 9 months.
Oh, really, okay.
Just thinking about the school tax.
I mean, this one might be a little bit quicker in that they did not have an expert to testify, but I do know that the judge that hears basically all these cases does take some time for her to issue the decision.